A few years have passed. Dex has driven Count Dragan away from Earth, and the people of Edenoi have taken their planet back. Dex remains on Earth in case Dragan returns. Occasionally, he's had run-ins with monsters of the Machine Empire and Divatox. Out in deep space, the evil Dark Spectre orders all of his forces to converge at once. This includes Count Dragan, despite his disgraced status. Dragan and his crew were considered losers among the Alliance of Evil. Dragan thought this may be a chance to restore his status. He gathered all of his forces available, along with some reinforcements from Dark Spectre. King Lexian was aware of all this and contacted Dex. Dex was worried. Taking on all those bad guys at once might be too much for him to handle. Lexian considered the Masked Rider warriors, but it would take time to gather them. In the meantime, he had an idea. Lexian went to Danaeus. Danaeus had once been corrupted and turned into the evil Robo-Rider, but now he was back to normal. He still retained some of his power, and Lexian planned to draw it out, restoring the Robo-Rider powers. He placed a hand on Danaeus' forehead, and in a flash he transformed into Robo-Rider. Lexian and Danaeus teleported to Earth. They fought their way through some Quantrons and made it to the Stewart house. Dex is happy to see his grandfather and friend. Furbus is excited as well and runs over to hug his old friends. Lexian asks to see Albie. Albie asks what he wants, and Lexian tells him he must become a Masked Rider once again. Albie is confused. But that was a dream. I wasn't ever really Masked Rider. Lexian shakes his head. No, that was more than a dream. It was a premonition. Deep inside, you still have the power of the Masked Rider. Lexian touches his forehead, as he did with Danaeus, and an Edenite gem appears. Albie's body glows as he transforms into a Masked Rider. Dex, Danaeus, and Albie go out and see Dragan's spider base landing nearby. Dragan leads a small army of his minions, maggots, and commandoids out. Our three heroes confront them. They each strike a pose and announce their names. Dex proclaims, "Masked Rider of Two Worlds! Hia! Ya! For Edenoi! For Earth!" Danaeus steps forward. "Robo-Rider! The power of friendship!" Albie is the final. His mind runs wild. What is his name? "Masked Rider! Super One!" he calls out. Dragan growls, "This time I won't lose. Your powers will all be mine." They charge each other, and a massive battle begins. The Masked Riders are winning. The Stewarts and Lexian watch on from the house. Hal turns to Lexian. "We may not even need the Masked Rider warriors' help after all." A smile spreads across Lexian's face. Barbara and Molly watch in admiration. Molly asks King Lexian if she could become a Masked Rider too. Lexian responds that he doesn't know. Possibly. Furbus looks to the sky and sees a Quantron ship flying over. The ship lands and a Quantron gets out and tosses a bag to Dragan. Dragan opens the bag to find growth grenades. He laughs evilly and throws them to his minions. Dex, Danaeus, and Albie suddenly freeze. They watch in horror as their enemies grow and tower above them. The Masked Rider warriors still haven't arrived, but we need help, King Lexian thought. We need something to give us a fighting chance. Molly stares up at the now titanic monsters. It's like when LC made Dex grow. Lexian turned to her. "LC?" he inquired. Molly explained to him the alien they met years ago. Lexian places a hand on her forehead and reads her thoughts. He recognizes the alien. "I'll be right back." The king disappeared. Outside, Dex calls Magno and Combat Chopper for help. Even with their help, the giants were still too strong. Lexian returned with LC. "Please, friend, use your powers to help us." LC nods and aims his growth beams at the Masked Riders. Dex, Danaeus, and Albie grow and are now evenly matched with the villains. Dragan's crew is weakened and fatigued. They can't take much more. Dex, Danaeus, and Albie all leap into the air and blast down in a unified rider kick. The villains shrink back to normal. Dex and his allies shrink as well. Dragan retreats to his spider base. Dex isn't sure what to do. Should he allow them to leave? He is left without a choice as he suddenly senses something. Lexian as well. Lexian collapses, holding his head, his Edenite gem pulsating brightly. Zordon is gone? Dex looks up and sees a golden wave of light pass overhead. The light reaches Dragan's ship and reduces it to sand. Dex looks to his friends as some mysterious force de-transforms them. Along with Lexian, Dex, Danaeus, and Furbus go to where the spider base disintegrated. All that's left is a pile of sand. Lexian bows his head and the others follow in a moment of reflection. At the Stewart house later, everyone is celebrating. Dex asks Albie why he chose the name Super One. Albie responds he was on the spot and it was the first thing he thought of. Lexian and Danaeus plan to head back to Edenoi and drop LC off along the way. Dex looks to them and back at his family from Earth. "You're just as much my family as my grandfather. I want to stay, but as a prince, I have a responsibility to my people. I love you all, and I'll never forget you." Dex joins hands with his grandfather and Danaeus. Dex looks to Furbus. "Aren't you coming?" Furbus goes to Dex and whispers to him. "Furbus, Earth home. Furbus, stay." Dex nods. "You can look after Magno and Chopper. They're staying here too." The three Edenites glow as they teleport away. The Stewart family waves, and Furbus calls out goodbye. Dex remains ever vigilant, ready at a moment's notice to once again call upon his powers and become Masked Rider.